So guys, today's video is going to be a little bit different. So when I started this channel, I wanted to talk about health and fitness, and I realized what I was doing was focusing primarily on how to improve your aesthetic appearance. Now, health and fitness is a lot more than that, and it's a lot more than that to me. It's about optimizing the way you feel on a day-to-day basis and ensuring that you continue to feel great as you age. Now, this may have been hinted in a past few of my videos, but it was never the explicit focus. My videos from now on are going to focus a lot more on a holistic approach to health. So by holistic approach, I mean things that help you physically and mentally and help you live longer, and the interconnectedness between physical health and mental health. According to me, there are 5 pillars of holistic health, and those are exercise, nutrition, sleep, mindfulness, and knowledge, basically. I was going to say reading, but I basically meant expanding your knowledge. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a series where I talk about each of these topics over 5 different episodes. And for today's episode, I am going to be focusing on exercise, my favorite. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So let's start. What is exercise? So according to me, exercise is a form of acute stress that you place on your body by expending energy, and this is commonly done by way of movement. It is the adaptation of your body to that stress is where we get the majority of the benefits from exercise. Now, most people presume that stress is a bad thing, and why should I go do something that stresses my body? And it's true that stress is bad, but that's when stress is chronic. And that means if stress persists for a long period of time, that's when you start to see its negative effects. So stress leads to the release of a hormone called cortisol, which causes the physiological symptoms that we associate with stress, like increased heart rate or sweaty palms, those kind of things. So chronic stress over a prolonged period leads to a chronic level of cortisol in the body. Now, we all have cortisol cycles, so it's not necessarily bad in and of itself. Like, for example, when we go to sleep, our cortisol levels gradually rise over the night and then they peak in the morning, which wakes us up. So cortisol is a natural part of our system. But cortisol becomes a problem when it's chronic and it sticks around for a long period of time. And when that happens is when we start to see all the negative things that we associate with stress. However, acute stress in the form of exercise leads to a spike in the stress, after which your body recovers from that stress. So exposing yourself to the repeated form of acute stress which exercise provides improves the stress response of your body. Now you would say, why doesn't chronic stress improve my body's stress response? That's because the issue with chronic stress is that it constantly persists. So with acute stress, you have the spike and then you're allowed to recover from it, which is where you derive all the benefits. But if the stress is constantly there, you're never able to recover from it. Now, the human body is essentially a machine of adaptation, and therefore it must be compelled to adapt. But part of the adaptation process is the rest, which allows your body to make the necessary changes that it needs so that it can do the same thing better next time. So let's dive into the first segment of this. And the point I'm trying to make here is that exercise can help you live longer and help you live better. So let's just start with some of the common benefits we know of exercise. We're all aware of the cardiovascular benefits of exercise, as in regular cardiovascular exercise improves the functioning capacity of your heart, and therefore your heart gets stronger and you get fitter in that way. Another benefit of exercise is through resistance training. Resistance training in the long term helps maintain muscle mass as you age and helps you keep your bone density high. Therefore, a well-structured program with a good balance of cardiovascular exercise and resistance exercise can prevent you from becoming brittle as you age. Now, one of the lesser known benefits of exercise is its capacity to protect your brain. Now, there's an abundance of evidence which suggests that exercise can delay and even prevent the onset of brain degenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's or dementia. Now, exercise may not directly target these, but what it can do is facilitate growth of the brain in areas such as the prefrontal cortex and the hippocampus, which are important functioning parts of the brain. And by facilitating this growth, it can delay the degenerative process from having impacts on you. So apart from these macro level changes, exercise also changes you at a cellular level. Now, exercise creates what is called cellular metabolic stress. And what this does is it activates the survival proteins in your body known as sirtuins. Sirtuins help repair cell damage. And it's failure of these cellular repair mechanisms and the resultant accumulating cellular damage, which is one mechanism by which people age. Now, exercise ensures that these repair mechanisms stay active and continue to perform their essential operations. So by way of analogy, consider how when people break their arm and they get a cast, their arm muscles shrink because their arm muscles are not used. Similarly, if sirtuins are not used, they become inactive. Therefore, by constantly stimulating them, you ensure they stay active and they continue the cellular repair process through your life, which can delay the onset of aging-related diseases. Now, I'm saying aging-related diseases, but if you go by some famous authors such as David Sinclair, he actually talks about how aging is itself a disease. And exercise, he discusses, is one aspect of overcoming this disease. And he also talks about nutrition and other aspects, which I will discuss further in my series. And I hope you guys look forward to that. Now, I've only talked about the benefits of exercise for older people, but it's even more crucial for young people. And the sooner you get into correct exercise programming, the better. Because when you get into this early, you build correct motor patterns that can help your physical performance through the rest of your life. A further benefit of getting into this exercise programming early is that you can change your body type. People who have been chronically obese or chronically skinny consider themselves victims of their circumstances and live their lives as such. However, being bound by a static body type is a myth. You can change your body type with consistent training. Now, everybody has a state of homeostasis, and that's their natural state of being, that's the natural state of their body. However, consistent exercise over an extended period of time can change this base level of homeostasis. Now, let me give you an example. For example, I've been training for 8 to 9 years, and before I started training, my body's base level of homeostasis was a fairly chubby kid. And now, even if I don't work out for a while, yes, I'll lose a little bit of muscle and I'll put on some fat, but for me to get back into being in shape is in a time frame of a few weeks rather than months or years. I can lose that fat and put that muscle back on very quickly and get back to the kind of shape I want to because my body has gotten used to being in that shape. So my basic point here is the earlier you get in shape, the easier it is to stay in shape for the rest of your life because that becomes your new natural state of being. Now let's dive into the next aspect of the benefits of exercise, and that's exercise can help you live happier. Now it's a well-known fact that exercise can improve your mood. Exercise has been found to be a powerful antidepressant in a number of studies. It's also been found to be an effective treatment to deal with depression and anxiety. Now the best part of this treatment is that it's free of any kind of side effects. So we've all heard of the runner's high experienced by endurance athletes when their body starts to release those endorphins like late into a run, which numbs that sick feeling of running and sort of produces this euphoric feeling. Now the benefits of that run and that those euphoric benefits that you get are not just limited to the run itself. Post-exercise also, our body continues to release greater amounts of mood-regulating neurotransmitters such as dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine. Now, regular exercise can ensure that these mood benefits of exercise stay with you through the day. So what you have to understand is that diseases of the mind, in large part, are due to dysregulated hormones in your brain. So what exercise can do is help you sort of regulate the dysregulated hormones in your brain. Now, obviously, this is a slightly oversimplified answer to this, and these issues can be far more complex, way beyond my understanding. But what I'm certain of is that exercise can definitely help. Now let's talk about a more indirect way in which exercise helps you live a happier life, and that is by way of boosting your self-esteem. So yes, the one aspect of that is that exercise makes you look better and that makes you feel more confident on a day-to-day basis and you feel happier that way. And that's absolutely there, but I'm not focusing on that. Exercise makes you fitter, and what that does is it makes you more capable. You're able to do more things with your body than you were previously. Now, for example, a particularly unfit person may be deterred from going to a certain place because, say, a trip would entail too much hiking or a job would entail too much standing, and they don't know if they're capable of that. So being fit increases your capability, and that increased capability leads to improved confidence in life. Now let's dive into the last segment, and this is a particularly interesting segment, and I absolutely love the research that I did on this, that I found about it, and that is exercise can make you smarter. So apart from improving the quality of your physical health, exercise significantly improves your cognitive capabilities. A number of studies have found that post-workout, the amount of BDNF increases in your body. BDNF is brain-derived neurotrophic factor. It's a protein that's present in the brain which supports the survival of existing neurons and promotes growth of new ones. Basically, it's sort of like a fertilizer for your brain, and it improves your ability to remember and learn things. So, studies in children have actually found that post a morning PT session, children actually get better test results and they have better knowledge retention in class. And this benefit is not just limited to children. There's a lot of evidence which suggests that exercise improves learning, improves focus, and even improves creativity. So you can use exercise as a tool to boost your cognitive powers. Now, on a more anecdotal side of what exercise teaches you in terms of smartness and habits is exercise teaches you discipline. Now, people may assume that a person like me just wakes up every day raring to go to the gym, and I'm going to tell you now that is not always the case. I would say at least 40% of the time I wake up and it's my workout time comes around and I'm just like, I really couldn't be asked. And even though I haven't felt like working out a lot of times, what I have found is I nearly never regret a workout, other than the few times I've probably overtrained and injured myself. But other than that, I don't think I've ever regretted a workout. And the days I've pushed past a really weak day for myself and managed to get my workout in, I just ride that feeling of satisfaction for the rest of the day. So regular exercise gives you an insight into the satisfaction of discipline, the beauty of order over chaos. Therefore, in conclusion, exercise not only builds the body, but it also builds your character and your brain. It helps you live longer, it helps you live better. Now, Robert Butler, who was the first director of the National Institute of Aging, said one of my favorite quotes. He said, if exercise could be packaged into a pill, it would be the single most widely prescribed and beneficial medicine. Now, unfortunately, there is no pill, and even if there was, I doubt it would be nearly as satisfying as actually doing the real thing. So anyway, I would say keep exercising, stay healthy, stay fit. I'll catch you in the next episode where I talk about nutrition, a highly controversial topic. You may have realized how I feel about nutrition in one of my past videos where I talked about being skeptical of nutritional advice. So I hope you guys enjoy the series because I'm really excited about presenting it, and I will see you guys at the next one.